Hey guys, happy Friday to you. I'm going to present a little tech thing for you here today. Now, we all know how to clear our browser history, how to run CC Cleaner, how to do all the common things that everybody knows how to do to keep a computer running in a good condition. What I want to show you today is some little known tips that you won't find on the internet to really keep things cleared out, keep things running well, and to keep you in good running shape. So here's the first thing. Number one, if you click on I'm running Windows 7 here, so all this is going to be dependent on what your operating system is. So I'm running Windows 7 and I have a search bar down here. So what I'm going to do is type in %temp percent and hit enter. And what I'm going to come up with is a whole bunch of temp files. Now, this is really not a lot. I've seen clients that I've worked on their computers and they've just had pages and pages and pages of this stuff. So what you want to do is you want to lasso this and you want to delete it. Now, I know that's going to scare you, but trust me, there's absolutely nothing that can go wrong here. If there's a program that's running and it needs to stay running and you can't delete it, then it's not going to let you. So no worries here. You can just clear these out, no problem at all. But this amount of temp files is not a big deal, but if you got pages and pages and pages of it, then you're going to have a problem. So let's go ahead and clear these. And it's going to give you this this warning here. This folder is shared with other people. If you delete it, this folder will no longer be shared. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Just continue with it. And as you notice, it deleted everything. So at this point here, you just might as well cancel, because you can try again. It's going to give you the same warning. It's talking about this particular file here. So let's just cancel it. And now you've cleared out these temp files that CCleaner doesn't do, that clearing out your browser history doesn't do. This really frees up a lot of space. So there's one thing. The other thing you can do, and most people don't know this, is that they can run a primary master administrator profile, and then you run a secondary common user profile. So if you look inside here, this is a common user. I have no master administration privileges. The reason why is if I go in here and type, well, the reason why is that if some program tries to install on your machine that can be malicious, it's going to prompt you for a password first, because you're not the administrator. So let's try doing ms, this is just an example, msconfig. Okay, I'm trying to go into msconfig and it should prompt me for a password. And it does. So put in my password. This is my master password. I can't type right now. So now I've given the master password privileges because I know the password of my master account, and I can go into msconfig. No program can install itself on this simple profile because it's not a master profile. I'm just a simple user on my own computer. I'm not the boss, yet I am. So since we're in msconfig, let's go to some things that are very important here. Here's a little known thing called boot, and if you'll see this, it tells you, that you're running Windows 7, what your OS is. And then if you click this advanced button right here, a little known thing is that Windows defaults to 1-core processors. Now you may ask yourself, what's a 1-core processor? Well, older computers just have 1 core. Nowadays they have machines that have 4 cores, which is a quad core. They have 8 cores. Then they have things that are GPUs plus APUs, which is another core on top of a regular core, and it ends up being 12 cores. And the APU processor is a very highly structured architecture, and this kind of technology is just now coming out. My computer's probably 7 years old, and I bought a quad-core processor. But when I went into this, because I just reimaged my hard drive the other day, and this was defaulted to 1. So I come down and I click it to 4, and now I'm taking advantage of all 4 cores in my processor, in my Windows. Okay, so you may have a quad core processor, not know it. You need to know what kind of machine you have. But if you have a 4 core processor, Windows is going to default to 1 core. So if you bump it up to 4, then you're taking advantage of all 4 processors. So there's one little thing you can do. The other thing within MS Config is the startup. Windows loves to start up all kinds of programs that you've placed in the startup menu, and you place them without knowing it by downloading it. Like downloading Yahoo, it automatically puts it into the startup program. But you know what? You don't need Yahoo to start up when you start up your computer. This might be the only one, but I mean, even Microsoft Office. I don't need Microsoft Office until I go and click on the icon right here. When I'm ready to use it, I'll go and click on it because there's no way of starting it up otherwise. So this is going to give you a faster boot time, is all this is going to do. Okay, and the last thing that I want to, well, there's a couple more things I want to show you is, I want to cancel this. The worst thing you can possibly do is run Windows Internet Explorer. Okay? I mean, how bad do you have to be as a company for Scott Pelley on the CBS Evening News to come on, and the first story is the United States government has announced to the American public to stop using Internet Explorer because it's vulnerable to a hack attack. And so it's just horrible. We all know that Google's better. We all know that Firefox is better. So what we want to do is go to where do I want to go to? I want to go to System. I want to go to Advanced Systems. And again, I'm starting to do something that's going to prompt me for a password. It seems a little annoying, but it's not. So, where do I want to go? Device Manager, Advanced Settings, Remote. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong place. Let me go back. I want to go to Add and Remove Programs, or, well, they change it every time the new version of Windows comes out. It's called Programs and Features now. Programs and Features. Okay. Turn Windows features on and off. This is where you want to go. Again, it's going to prompt me for a password because I'm going to do something fairly serious to my machine. And we want that because we don't want an outside program turning things on and off, downloading software to you. So I can't show you how to do a profile because I lose my video. But as you can see right here, Internet Explorer 8, because that's all the updates I've done so far. I think it's up to 11 now. It's turned off. It's not checked. So this frees up a lot of memory. It frees up a lot of things, and just having it on makes life horrible. Turn it off. Do yourself a favor. Use Google Chrome. Use Mozilla. Whatever you need to do. I'm going to cancel this. One last thing I want to show you that I'm trying to talk about with the user profiles. You'll see that I have what I call a master and a slave. This is not terribly politically correct these days, but I have two different profiles. So I'm in my slave account here, and it is a slave to the master profile. So if I wanted to go in and configure, manage my credentials, how could I show you my change your account name, change your picture, change your password, manage another account. Let's try that. Okay, so you'll see that I have a master administrator account, I have a standard user slave account, and then I also have a guest account. So if I have a guest over, they're only going to get to use this one. They can't touch this stuff up here. I don't care how good of a friend you are, you can't touch my stuff. So This is something I'll have to make another video about, because if I would come here and switch users, I would lose my video for this. So this account right here, I do absolutely nothing with. There's nothing in this account at all. But an outside program would have to get through this master account to get to the slave account, because since I'm not using this at all, it would have to get to this point and get my password to actually install something on my computer. Alright, so that's everything I got for you guys today, except for one last little thing. This is a cute little program. And by the way, CNET right here, this is the best place to download stuff. It's always clean. There's not other stuff involved or anything. So this is a cute little program called Fences. And let me... Okay, so it's going to download it. I got 14 seconds left. You see what a mess my desktop is? It's a mess. What this program does is that it cleans up your desktop, organizes it, and does a few other things that are really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and install this right now. And see, I'm wanting to install a program, and my computer's asking me permission. Oops, I think I hit that wrong. So we're installing now. One good thing is always use the useless agreement here. I'm just going to accept because I've already read it, but if you read through this, it'll tell you what's going to install and what your privacy issues are. So you see now it's asking me to install this program, which I don't want to do. So pay attention when you're installing programs. This is a big thing that a lot of people do. They don't read this stuff. So no, I don't know what this is. I don't care what it is. I just want to install the program that I initially wanted. So this should just take a second. Minimize this. Okay. So I'm just going to start this on its own. And look what it does. Isn't that cool? It takes all of your programs and organizes them into different kinds of blocks. So I have files and documents here. I have all my different folders here, and I have all this. But see how much cleaner it is. Okay. So I don't need to go into any more detail than this, but the only downside to this program is it's a 30-day trial, and it's going to cost you $9 or $10, $9.99. I'm not trying to promote it or anything. I'm just saying it's cute. You can use it for 30 days, and if you want to cough up the $10, then great. But if you're one of the trainers, the cool thing about this is that when you're training and you got GoToMeeting going, you can just double click here, and that normally won't happen. And you got a blank space here. So if you ever have to change screens and show your desktop on accident, you're all set to go right here, because all you got is GoToMeeting going on. If I double click again, it comes back. So let me try double clicking again. Well, don't show me this again. So here are my icons, nice and organized. Double click, I'm going into a training. I got a nice clean desktop. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. And we will be here next Tuesday for Technical Tips Tuesday. Alright. Guys, have a great weekend.